flute students. We're ready for lesson 6, and we're going to start this on page 8, and we have a couple new things we're going to work on today. So first off, we're going to work on a new note, which is going to be G. So you have 1, 2, 3 fingers, and then your thumb on back. That's for the left hand, and then just the pinky on the right hand over here, just the pinky. Okay, so that's the new note. That's G, and we're going to use a fast stream of air to work on that one. I'll show you guys that in the song. Another thing we're going to work on is the fermata. Okay, so this is a symbol that actually shows us to play the note longer than what its normal value would be. So for example, let's say if we have a whole note here, which this is the note that's used in exercise 27. So we're using the exact same note here. We got an E flat. So normally it would be 4 counts, and we talked about that in our last lesson. So in the next one, we are going to look, in this one, we're going to talk about how many beats this is actually going to be. So we have 4 counts already, and then we have 2 extras here. So those 2 extras are from our fermata. So a fermata means you're actually lengthening the note from its original value. Okay, so let's say, for example, we have like a half note. So you're going to give that more than 2 beats. And it's kind of left up to the discretion of the performer. That's the real definition of a fermata. But you want to make sure, the general rule is that you make sure to give the note at least half more of its value. So for example, if it's 4 counts, you're going to add at least 2 more to it. So hopefully that makes sense for you guys. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. All right, so we're going to take a look at this first exercise. We're going to be starting on E flat, and then we have F, and then G is our new one. Now in between here, y'all may notice the half rests. So the half rests are going to be 2 beats, and I'll count this as we go. I'll pause and count this so y'all are seeing where it's happening. And remember, the half rest is always that little black box sitting on the 3rd line of your staff. Okay, so watch for that. All right, so we're going to start with E flat and going up to G in half notes. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, and then your fermata with your E flat here. So I gave that one 6 counts. You can give it more, but 6 counts is like the minimum there for a fermata on a whole note. Now, something else you can do with the counting is, let's say for example, in measure 2 we have G, and then I'm saying 1, 2. So that's a pretty basic way to count, but as you guys advance, remember that you've already done the first 2 counts. So this is 1, 2, and then the rest would be 3, 4, okay? Because that's beats 3 and beat 4, because each measure has 4 counts. So your half note took care of 2, and then beat 3 and 4 are next. So watch out for that. Okay, next exercise, we have a little French folk tune here. This one's fun, exercise 28. Now this uses all the notes you've learned so far, and it puts in breath marks. Okay, y'all notice the breath marks here. Breath mark. Now, I took a breath mark right in between G and F, right before the breath mark got there. Okay, so if y'all run out of breath for any for any reason, that's okay. That happens all the time. This is just to help you with phrasing. Okay, so each phrase is broken off by a breath mark. Try not to breathe on every bar line. That's bad technique. You don't want to do that. So it is important to be able to breathe in between measures and in phrases. Okay, and this one is kind of put into phrases. All right, our next one. This one also has phrasing, which shows the commas, the breath marks. So watch for that. So here we have half notes, lots of half notes. So you have lots of air you've got to do in this amount of time. And then you get a breath. So you have 4 half notes. So that's a total of 8 counts with no breath. Okay, so take big breaths here. Rest, rest. Now on this one, it doesn't show a breath mark on the half rest. That's natural. If there's a rest somewhere, you can always breathe on a rest, of course. So it's not saying that you have to like sit there and wait and hold your breath and go on to the next phrase until you see a breath mark. You do not have to do that. You are more than welcome to breathe on rests. All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about harmony. Harmony is 2 or more notes played together, and each combination kind of forms a chord. And so when 2 people are playing harmony, it sounds like chords almost. So here's a little London Bridge duet. I'm going to play both A and B parts for you guys, and y'all can try this one out. This one also has breath marks in it to help you out. Rest, rest, rest. Okay, so right in there, that's going to be where part B takes over your melody, and then you pick it back up in the next measure. And then there's one rest at the end. Now here is part B. And then you have 4 count rest there while part A does their part. Another whole measure of rest, and then you just end on B, B. Like that. So part A is ending like this, and part B is just B's. Like that. So that's a fun one, especially fun if you have a partner that you can play that with. Next up is a Mozart melody. I'm sure most of you can guess what this one is. What you can do there is I've actually trained myself to kind of not breathe on bar lines, because all instructors almost always say do not breathe on a bar line. It makes you sound choppy. So some of these beginner books trip me up a bit because they do have breath marks on bar lines. So I'm actually breathing, and you guys can try this out as well because it is a more advanced technique. So let's say, for example, it has a breath mark right after that half note rather than before. A more advanced way to play that would be all the quarter notes in one breath, and then breathe before the half note in that way. And then moving on, and then you get another breath, and so on. Now you only want to do that if it's more convenient for your breath. So for example, on the last line there, you don't want to take a breath right before your last note and then just do your half note and then you're done. So that makes it a bit more choppy. You want to keep that all in one breath. So just to take the guesswork out of it, you can just follow those breath marks, and then as you advance, you'll learn how to not do them on any bar lines and put them only in phrases. All right, last off here is your quiz. So here you're just going to draw in the symbols, the treble clef, the repeat sign, the time signature, and then label the note names before you play this. So I'll play this for you guys. If you want to, pause the video, that way you can't cheat, and write in all of the necessary stuff before you hear it. So here it goes. So that one's a lot of fun. It's pretty easy, and keep in mind that repeat sign means to play twice. So that's why I played it 2 times. All right, so you guys enjoy that. Be practicing. Page 9 is coming up. Have fun.